Hello guys, this is the theory that we're gonna do the lambda in the Unreal 4 by AWS plugins. But now, before we go to the Unreal 4, I wanna set the lambda functions at the lambda console. So here is the lambda console. At the right side, we click the function, and it looks like this. And we're gonna create a new function. So this function name, I'll give the get timestamp. Why I named this, I'll explain later. Okay, and I choose Node.js. Alright, and I'm gonna create a function. So here's actually if we want to run the lambda, we're gonna write some code to let the function in to run it. But we don't have to write any function code inside of it because somebody already did the function code for us. We only need to do is to submit his function code. So here is a function code example called party system, and this is a TypeScript. So we're gonna use this Node.js. So we're gonna compile it. We're gonna build it. So what we're gonna do is to download the Node.js in our computer. So we can just click the latest version. I'll just choose the latest version. So you're gonna go back to, in this folder. So you're gonna uh, I'll just choose the easy way. You can just click the files folder, file paste, and delete them, and type the cmd, and it will automatically cd under this file. Alright, and you're gonna type the npm install. Alright, and now your folder has one more folder called the node models. That's good. And now we're gonna install the TypeScript in our local computer. So you can just go to the TypeScript website, TypeScript, and you click the install locally. It will give you npm code. So if you want to use npm, you must have the Node.js installed in your local computer. So okay, so I'm going to run this in the command. So you can check your TypeScript version. It can be tsc-v. My version is 4.0.3. That's all good. And now we're gonna go to in this folder. Under this folder, now command the paces under this folder. Alright. So what am I gonna type is the tsc in the party system TypeScript, and press enter. Okay, and now it will give JavaScript files. So what you're gonna need is you're gonna need the node models and the JavaScript and make them to a zip file. Alright, and you go back to the lambda functions. So you're gonna upload the function code. Upload. You're gonna choose the zip file that we just zip about the JavaScript and the node modules. Click open and click save. So let me see inside of the TypeScript. Actually, under the like in the 67th, and here is a function called the get timestamp. So I want to run this timestamp in the lambda. So that's why I named this lambda function called get timestamp. But there's so many functions in this function code. So how we actually to run the get timestamp in this function code? So what you're gonna need to do is to go down, and here is a basic setting. So here you can choose the party system. Party system is what is a file. This is the party system dot TypeScript, and we use the now we use the party system dot JavaScript in this function code. But we use this name. We use the name TypeScript system. We use the name party system. Alright, and dot get timestamp. Get timestamp because we're gonna run the function called get timestamp in the function code. Alright, and now I click save. And now we're gonna make a test event, configure test event. So I will create it. I will make a event name called test. Alright, And the get timestamp, you don't need any input. You don't need any input, so we don't give it any input. We can just leave it blank. Alright, and we create it. Okay, and now we click test. It returns a timestamp. Alright, that's it. So we're gonna do the second functions. This function I will name get latency. Get latency. Why? Because here is a function called the get latency with the input. Okay, so get latency, I will just name the lambda function like this. Alright, and now I create the function. Alright, and upload the function code. Choose the div file. Click save. Alright, and you go down to change the basic setting. Change the handler, party system. Dot and get latency. Make sure it's same as the function name get latency. Alright, get latency. So Node.js, runtime Node.js, alright, no problem. And we click save. So what we can do in the lambda, it will return the timestamp. It will get latency, right? So it will return a latency. So it includes calculations about the we're gonna have an input about a timestamp, and when we actually run this lambda, it will get the current timestamp and minus the timestamp that we give for the input, and it will return the result, and that's the latency. Okay, and so we're gonna actually make an event, test event, and this event name I'll give the test. Alright, and we're gonna go a website called the current millis to get a timestamp, just for example. Alright, and now I will delete all of this and put the timestamp for the input, because we want a timestamp right here. Okay, so and now we create it, yes, and now we test. It works, and it returns the latency. It returns the latency between the timestamp we gave and the timestamp that the lambda that the function runs. Alright, and that's it. And we make the third function name. This function name is very interesting. I will call it the heartbeat. Why I named this? Because here is the function called the heartbeat. Alright, and it's Node.js. Alright, created function. So the same, we're gonna upload the div file. Alright, and now actually we're gonna add the environment variable. Why? Because you go back to check the code. It says we have a DynamoDB client. So we have a DynamoDB client. So, but the DynamoDB client is when we create the DynamoDB client is in the forward, like the initial. Here is the construct of the DynamoDB. So it has a region, the DynamoDB region. It includes the region, DynamoDB region. So this DynamoDB region actually it is environment variable called the DynamoDB region. So we have to make environment variable. So this I'll call the DynamoDB region. All right. So my region is what? My region is US East 1, so I'll just put the US East 1. Alright, and actually we have second environment variable. When we actually we have to use a table name. This table name is set it in the first by environment variable. So this environment variable called the user activated table. So I'll just create the environment variable called the user. Use the environment user user activated activate this table. And the value, actually we have to go to the AWS, the DynamoDB, create a new table. Oh, I already have a table. Alright, and now I'll just delete the table. Alright, and I'm gonna create a table. This table name called the user activated. Alright, and the partition key table name already this. Why? Let me refresh the page and create a table. Still the name user activated. Alright, and the partition key, let me see, the partition keys can be the user sub. Alright, sub, and now we created the table. So I'll just make sure if we're not typing something wrong, let me just copy the user activated table in the lambda, the key. Alright, and the value. The value is gonna be the this table name. Alright, we click save. So actually we're gonna go down, and here is basic settings. We can do the same, and this handler is gonna be the party system, and the function called what? The function called the heartbeat. And now we have to set the rule. Why we set the rule? Because this lambda we want to assess and manage the DynamoDB in the lambda. We have to give the rule. We have to give it a rule with the permission of the DynamoDB. So what we can do is to go to the AWS management. I'll search IAM, create a new rule. Here's a rule. Okay, and now I'll just create a new rule. This rule is gonna be the lambda, and right here's the lambda. Alright, and here's my use case lambda. Alright, next permission. So first you're gonna need a DynamoDB, Amazon DynamoDB for access. It actually include the read write, rewrite. Actually it's kind of like the all action, all success, and for access. So if you want to limit the access, you only want to read, you can create a new policy, but I will just use the Amazon DynamoDB for access for example. And next review. Okay, and the rule name, I'll give the test lambda rule. Alright, and it has policy lambda DynamoDB for access. Alright, and now we create the rule. So we go back to lambda. We're gonna refresh. We're gonna search. Here is the test lambda rule that we just created in the IAM. I'll use this rule, and we click save. So actually, let me check. Yeah, we need the DynamoDB, and we need DynamoDB. We need to use DynamoDB to update a table name. So we need the permission in this rule of this function. Alright, and so after I run this, it will update an item in this table. Okay, so we're gonna go back and have a test event. This tab event, I'll just give a test. Alright, and for the input, here's the interesting thing, because the input is a JSON type. Here is the herbits, the event, the input, and it will give to the herbits. And now the herbits is like JSON type. It includes the expert time. It includes the activated, the reading expert time. But actually, we don't need to set the expert time, because it's gonna be set inside of the code. Alright, so we need to give the input only about the activated and the region and expert time. No expert time. Okay, we don't need to say expert time. And also we need to input a user. Alright, and so first thing is gonna be a reuser. The name is gonna be one. I'll just give it one for example. And in activated, I'll just make sure I'm not typing wrong. And the activate, I will make example give it 2. And there is the region. Alright, the region I'll give it 3. Not a big deal. And now I created a test. A success. And now we go back to the item. We're gonna refresh the page. And now it has the item in the user table. Alright, and now we make another test. We can make another test. Here is the configure test event. User, I'll just give my name Steve, and the activated I'll give a online, and my region is US East 1. Alright, and we click save. And now we test again. And we go back to the table and we refresh the page. And now it has one more items. The user, my Steve, user Steve, and activate online and expert time that is gonna be set in the function and the game region US East 1. Alright, that's it. So here you see Unreal 4. So I'll create the classes and now I'm gonna go inside of it and right after the begin play and it's gonna be created. Oh wait a second, let me just open my plugin. So we need two plugins. This plugin is my lambda plugin and this plugin is the JSON blueprint. This is a free plugin set in the marketplace. You guys can download it for free and I'll restart my project. Okay, so we go into this actor. So right after the begin play, I'll create the lambda object. So in the credential, you actually need the credential and the client configuration. So in the credential, you have to put your SS key ID and the secret key. So for the client configuration, you have to worry about the region. Make sure it's same as the web console, like my lambda. Where's my lambda? Like my lambda. Here is my US East 1. So make sure it's same. Alright, and I'll create the verbal. Okay, now I have my SS key ID, secret key ID put in, and now I will use this verbal. I'm gonna call the invoke. So first is gonna be the function name. Function name is gonna be the what? In the functions, and here's the herbits. This is my function name. And the body we have to put inside of the body. So what are we gonna put? Actually, three things. In three things. For example, user and activated region. Alright. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make the JSON. We make JSON for the body. I'm gonna put the first is JSON make. In JSON make file. JSON make file. Make three file. So first the file name is gonna be the user. It's gonna be the user. Alright, user. And the second file is gonna be the activated state. And the third file name is gonna be the region. This two body is gonna be the to JSON. The JSON object to the string. And now you put the values. So here is the user, activators, and region. Make sure, let me just open my this table, this user activated tables. Maybe let us refresh. So actually, it includes two things. So I will make some changes. For example, I will put a user called light, and activators. I'll put the is gaming is matching, and his region is gonna be the US East 2 maybe. And let me print the error message if it goes unsuccess. And now let me drag the actor to the level and click play. Okay, and we stop it. Let's refresh this page. Alright, and now I have a lion. His activate is matching, and his region is US East 2. Alright, it's very easy. And now actually, because this function has no return, so let me choose a function with return. So here is the first. Here is the get timestamp. It will return the guy. It will return the timestamp. Get timestamp. Alright, and this name is timestamp. Now I copy to the function name. We don't have any input, so we don't put anything in the body. So the payload. So if it goes success, we're gonna use the result and get the payload. So we're gonna print the payload. Alright, and we click play. It returns a timestamp. Alright, it's good. Alright, it returned the time. Alright, it's good.